You know what's going on. We back at it. We back here with another guest from Lady Ace and Friends live at Frederick Meyer Gardens. We got introduce yourself, brother.
RAYDALE Shamaine.
How you feeling, man?
Oh man, God body.
God body. It was an amazing performance you just put on, man.
Amazing.
Thank you.
How was it? How you feeling after that performance?
I feel amazing, man. First and foremost, shout out to Lady Ace, man. She's a master curator. She knows exactly how to fill in the pockets that are necessary, as well as the ones that may be empty without an attentive eye. And tonight we got to experience that. But yeah, I feel an immense amount of just divinity, man. I felt God in the room. So you know, anytime I feel that, I can't have no complaints, man. I can't. It's beautiful.
Oh, definitely, most definitely. So in the beginning, when you started, making music, did you always have a strong, God presence in your music?
Yeah. So a lot of my messages just come from a lot of lived experiences, as well as just being a voice for people that feel like they ain't got a voice. You know, a lot of storytelling, really just illuminating just the real people. And shining the light on just the people that grew up where I grew up, coming from the trenches, coming from the, just them hard areas, and just paving the way on both ends of the field. I think one of my biggest things that I had a contention with was when I started doing music, I had this conviction just letting people in my ear like, oh, you can't serve God and believe in God, and then you talking about that. I'm just like, but, it was God that allow me to go through that. So if I leave God out of the trenches, then you know what I mean? Like there's an efficiency there's a hypocrisy in just the way people kind of weaponize the truth necessarily. So for me, it was going against that resistance and saying like, no, I can tell my story. I can tell the story of people who probably won't live to be able to tell their story. People who just feel like if they say this, they may not, be able to come back, from that. So for me, it's just being a brave heart and put myself on the forefront. So I would say, yeah, man, I think the bravery just came from blocking out the noise, blocking out what people had to say, and really, developing a relationship with God myself and saying, but what is he telling me? And staying true to that. So, yeah, it's been a journey.
Brother, you are very well spoken.
I was just about to say that God-fearing man with a killer on the pen.
Yo, no lie. The word, your vernacular is crazy, man. Where does that come from? You are very, you read a lot, or?
Yeah, definitely read a lot. Man, my mom was a poet. My mom was one of the greatest writers that I know. When people ask me like, man, who's your favorite writer, or, your favorite author? I'm just like, my mom.
Nice.
She wrote the blueprint to me being here with y'all right now. So her and my grandmother, God rest her soul. But yeah, man, they put dictionaries in my hand when I was young, like as a kid, like 5, 6 years old. It's like, oh, you know what? You need to know a new word each week, be able to articulate it, write it in a sentence. What's the synonyms of it? But also being able to grow up in a space where I had the freedom to be able to express what I was thinking, to be able to share what it is that I was feeling, but also learn, like, what do you feel other than just being happy? You know what I'm saying? What do you feel other than just being sad? So my grandmother spent a lot of time just teaching me emotional intelligence and just the importance of articulating for yourself. If you don't advocate for yourself, somebody going to write your narrative for you. And she didn't want that. So that's where that came from. Just, strong black women.
So, the Grand Rapids hip hop scene, you are very entrenched in. Tell us your thoughts on, how we're growing, ways we need to improve. What are your thoughts on as you take a step back and look at everything that's happening around you, this environment? Yeah,
no, that's an amazing question. It's always been a dichotomy with it. On one end, there's this upsurge of, even what we're doing right now, like the podcast, it's like, man, we got the black media team. They out. They creating these opportunities to give artists voices, to get entrepreneurs voices, to get the governor's voices. These are the spaces where, okay, true outlets are available now. Meyer Garden, I think, and I don't want to misspeak, so, do your own due diligence when you listen to this, but I think tonight was one of the first hip-hop shows right here.
Somebody else said that
tonight. So even Black History Month, we legitimately made
real.
Black history right here in the city.
For real, that's for real. Yeah,
Today, before I
even
came,
thought about that.
No,
neither.
really,
Yeah, neither.
like even before I came today, I was researching and found out that a guy named Lyman S. Parks was
That
the
is
first
my daughter's uncle.
first Black mayor in Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Right. And that was 1973 when he was elected. I think 1971 he won mayor just out of a vacancy, and then he was elected 2 years later.
Wow.
So when I think about just the uprising, that just in a political sense, economic sense, and how it trickles down to music, Black excellence has always been an opportunity set forth for us to just lean into and take it. Now, granted, there's my take on that. The dichotomy on the other side is this mentality where if you eat, then I can't. Therefore, I'm going to find a way to either eliminate you from the margin of being successful, or I'm just not going to collaborate with you, because if you give me a space to express or display my skills, display my thought process, display my ideologies, my gifts, my originality, then it may take light away from what it is that I'm doing, and I can't have that. Musically, sitting back, and even in my experience just being in it before I step back, because I've been gone for like 5 years for music, just like on a spiritual journey, just, obedience to God. But sitting back through those lenses, I've seen genuineness misrepresented through the form of passive hate. And when we don't discern that to a degree, then we also are contributors of creating platforms for people who shouldn't be on them, right? And I think
I agree with that.
I think
tenfold.
collaboration, man, is collaboration is bigger than the word collaborate. And I think if we don't dive deeper into what I call a moral injury, and moral injury necessarily means it's just like there's something that is injured and fractured inside of your moral compass that drives you to even think that someone else's success is going to eliminate yours. That's a deep-rooted Black historical complex that we have to, we got to overcome. So I think
parasite is a
perfect word for it. I think musically, man, I think it's beyond the music. I think what we're dealing with is just the complexities of human beings. And before we get to the music, before we get to any entertainment, I think if we don't deal with people on a human level, then I think we're going to miss it, because a simple cadence can get in the way of what the devil is doing. And if we continue to bob our heads and dance to it, then, we have a demonic rhythm.
100.
So.
Man.
Lecrae is funny. Stephen Mack was listening here talking about Lecrae. But Lecrae got a song, and I'll never forget. He said something about why we shuck and jive to a crack murder. And that has always stuck with me, bro. He was like, y'all talking about me, but y'all out here shucking and jiving to crack murders on songs, and it's like, man, that's deep, bro.
Do you feel like your call away from music and then your call back to music? Do you feel like that was God calling you away and calling you back? Because Malice, he had an interview with Joe Budden. I love what he said when he took some time away. His father was a pastor too. God rest his soul as well. And he asked his dad, do you think it's time to come back? And, he was essentially saying that, through our talks, God been told you to come back. Yeah. God said it's been time for you to, to come back after, sitting down, learning the word and, kind of passing the bowl around and, it's time to, eat your own.
Yeah, no, I think definitely for me, it was that I had so many opportunities lined up before COVID hit, right? And COVID changed the game for everything.
Oh,
right?
For sure.
COVID was the perfect time for podcasting and everything. That was the perfect time for it.
For sure.
But I had so much lined up. So one of the biggest opportunities that I had was I connected with a prince in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
And I was going to Dubai to perform.
Fire.
And I'm just like, bet. And we lined this up, but it was scheduled for 2020. And and I was just like getting like super notoriety. Like Surf had just reached out to me. I had just opened up and did something with Kurt Cobain, and like it was just going. It was just back to back, right? And so I'm making all of these plans, and you know, I'm getting my team together, and then 2020 came. And when 2020 came, for me, it was the perfect year to realize that disobedience is a reflection of your character, and not just getting caught up in the momentum of decision making. And I realized that I was putting glory on things that I was getting personal gratification from, and it wasn't God. And I think God, you know, stripped me away from that to show me what real obedience was, mold my character, mold just my mind, and why was I doing music, right? In a lot of ways, I think he saved me from what the music industry went forth and to become those 5 years later. Like a lot of artists suffered from that 2020 to like 2022, 2023. So I think in a way it was like, oh, you saved me from music, but ultimately you saved me from myself. And I was able to mature in a way that I became ready to handle it. I became ready to, okay, let me get out now. Let me do the interviews. Let me come on the podcast. Let me do the shows. Let me come out and mingle. But I was doing music, but I was living off the people pleasing and the imposter syndrome that I can save these people if I do it, if I come and say it, if I come and rap it, if I come and connect with you, if I can plug you in. I
waste a lot of time doing
you know what
that
I mean?
too.
And God usually ain't in that at all.
Yeah.
So I think that 5-year hiatus that I went on was just God taking me through delayed gratification. But it's like, this not denial. It's not even a punishment. But if you don't see the opportunity that I'm cultivating for you, then when you get it, it'll crumble. You know? And you listen to my music now, even how I move, like I only come out and do shows that I think and believe are aligned with what God is calling me to do. I only hop on somebody's song or, you know, come and sit down with people. Like if I don't hear it, I don't do it, and it ain't even I'm bougie or I'm above. It's like that's just not aligned with what I'm going on. And I realized my punishment was too big for me to get to this point and be this blessed and not listen. Sure. You know, so me being back now is very godly. Everything got to get turned back to God. You know, even how I closed today. You know, even in closing the show in the way that I did was that, you know, these elevated platforms are nothing. They mean nothing. They don't mean anything. And if you get attached to the hype, you get attached to the superstardom, and you're not grounded, and you don't put yourself amongst the people, man, that stage is gonna swallow you. I've seen it happen to the best of them. So, yeah, that's glory to God, man. God is here.
Yeah, that's it.
God is here.
I appreciate that prayer, bro.
Man.
That prayer was real.
Yeah, that was real. That was dope.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Perfect
Definitely.
timing. Perfect
People in
timing.
the crowd felt it too.
Yeah.
Man,
a lot of
listen,
people were like,
that's perfect.
Yeah,
wow.
brother. You definitely, when you started off the interview saying God body, I completely get it now because I can feel your presence, you know what I'm saying? And I feel the brevity in your words, brother. So keep
Thank you.
doing what you're doing, brother. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we need more of that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything you good?
Nah, I'm cool. I also want to say thank you for hollering at us and you know, hitting our DM and wanting to get on the show. It meant a lot to. I told him, I was like, hey, bro, Raydale just tapped in and said you want to get on the show. And we both was like, yeah, let's make it happen.
Yeah,
So
man, y'all amazing, man. Y'all been doing some prolific work, man. I would love, you know, on camera or off camera, man, just to really tap in with y'all and see how y'all even brainchild this whole thing. But it's synergy, man. Like it's aligned. Just how y'all connect with the artists, the research, the intentionality that go into it, the simplicity, but yet, you know, still being grounded and just like, hey, look, we from that way too.
100,
you know what I mean?
100.
But man, being able to create an opportunity for everybody else and just create an opportunity for yourself. I promise you, I watch from afar. And I'm like, yeah, I got 2026. We got to make that happen, however that looks. So, man, shout out to y'all first and foremost.
Appreciate you.
it's a pleasure, man. It's an honor, and to any artists that's out there and you listening, man, it's the place to tap into. This the place to come for authenticity. This the place to come for truth. This the place to come to really to be yourself and to display, not just your talent, but like who are you as a person?
Absolutely.
At the core of who you are, and y'all are providing that platform at a rapid rate. So, I wish y'all much success throughout the course
Likewise,
of 2026.
Likewise, for sure.
I'll be back on here.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely.
We're going to get you on here.
Exclusive drop.
2026.
Exclusive drop real quick.
100%.
February 20th, Not For TV is dropping. Raydale Shamaine.
Oh, the new
The
album?
album's on the way.
Okay.
First studio album.
Yes, sir.
We
Yes,
here.
sir.
I was just going to be my next question.
Yeah, studio album, man. February 20th. That's the official date. Y'all heard it here live. Black Love is out everywhere. Stream that. That's the
Fire.
single.
Fire.
And quietly, I'm going on tour at the end of the month. I'm gonna be in Colombia, so the album will be international.
Fire.
At that point. So exclusive drops here only.
Nice.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's dope.
Appreciate it.
yeah, I'll be back on here, and I
Yeah.
got something that I'm gonna be back on this podcast for that ain't got nothing to do with music.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Called it out. You heard it.
So we here.
Yes, sir.
We here, family.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was our pleasure to sit down with you, man. It's another Risk Takers. And we out, man.
Yeah.